All right, hello and welcome to our review guide. And I'm just going to be going through some of the stuff in the beginning, a little step by step with you guys. So we know that our review questions start on page 8. One of the biggest things, and I can't stress this enough, is you have the information before the questions. That's the review. And so sometimes you're simply going to need to read that. So anybody who's starting off, or maybe you weren't with us at the beginning of the year, you're starting off confused, or you're like, I don't remember this at all. We go to our first question. It's talking about measurements, smallest to largest. You need to make sure you read that part of the question. You come back to page 7. Hopefully some of you remember King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. We have our different measurements up here, okay? So if we're starting off, if we have millimeters on here, that's one of our smallest units. You're going to start there. Pretty basic stuff, right? You're just going to simply need to do the work. Now, the first place that I'm seeing some people run into some problems is scientific notation. There's a couple ways to look at this, but the first thing that all of you should do is what? That's right. Go back and read. Hey, we've got a whole page on scientific notation. And even notice, oh, that looks like scientific notation right there. Anyway, if you're looking at this number, it's going to be written like 5.98, okay? And we can see that all of our scientific notation is times 10 to the negative or the positive, or whatever it is. One way to do that is after the 5, because you're writing 5.98, how many spaces do you have here? If you counted starting right here and went all the way down, you're going to have 24 spaces starting here at 1. If you wrote a number above each of these, by the time you got here, that'd be 24 spaces. So 5.98 times 10 to the 24th. Okay? That would be the way that you would write this out. Some other things to take a look at. Now, some of you might get confused. You're looking at this, the smallest, cells are 5 micrometers in length. We haven't done a whole lot with micrometers, but you could find micrometers right up here. And look, it even gives you the scientific notation for that. So 5 times 10 to the negative 6. Why is it a 5 and not a 1? Because how many micrometers are we talking about? We're talking about 5 micrometers in length. Okay? The biggest thing is you need to take your time. When you don't understand something, go back and read. That's what you're going to need to do. And that's why it doesn't just have questions, it also has review guides to show you what to do. So if we're talking about here and you're going to be measuring it out, and these are centimeters, 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, so what is this in between? Those are going to be millimeters. So measure the length of the ruler. Remember to estimate to the next decimal place, starting in meters. You are going to be using the King Henry method up here. Okay, so if you start at something at meters and it went up to kilometers, you might have to move the decimal point 1, 2, 3 to the left. If it was getting smaller, if you were starting in meters and it went down to millimeters, you're going to be moving your decimal place to make your number bigger to the right. Depending if it was from meters to millimeters, you would move 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right. Same things that we did earlier in the year. Okay? So if you have the length of a football field here is 109.7 meters. You're converting this to kilometers. We come back up here, our basic unit. We were in meters. we're going to kilometers. So the number, the decimal point is going to be moving to the left, okay? And you're going to move it 1, 2, 3 spaces. If we come back down here to our question, 109.7. So we're going to move it 1, 2, 3. So it's 0.109.7. It's as simple as that. Okay? Once you have that number, how many times would you have to run back and forth to get to 1 kilometer? So how many of these would you need of 0.01 to get to 1 kilometer? We want to see you figuring these out, okay? A lot of this is you're just going to need to go back, do the reading, and then if you have a specific question, ask it, okay? All right, I hope that helps.